Yes, totally, and that's why it's probably the number one thing I've been banging on about for like the last 2 years has been what I've been saying, like a national mobilization of our defense industrial base. Like I don't think what we're doing now is remotely adequate for what we would need. I mean, first off, just for a war with China, God forbid, right? I mean, we can't produce munitions fast enough, let alone things like attack submarines or penetrating bombers or satellites or whatever, right? But if we want to do that and we want to supply our European allies and our Israeli allies and sell stuff to the Indians and the Egyptians and the Emiratis, we're like so way, way, way behind what we need. That I think it's going to involve, essentially what we've been doing is like pumping money in to the existing system and then like making some small changes like multi-year procurements that within the current structure may be like the least bad thing you can do, but fundamentally is not going to resolve the problem and exactly the roots of the problem, I don't fully pretend to understand. I think it has to do with consolidation, deindustrialization, inconsistent demand, et cetera, multiple factors, right? Deliberate Chinese efforts to corner critical components and minerals, et cetera. But I don't see anything like the level of national urgency that would be required. And I don't really get it, actually. Like, why didn't President Biden use some of that enormous amount of political capital and money that he invested in, like the clean energy investments, into the defense industrial base? Like, I don't know. I think a lot of Democrats would support that. In fact, I know some Democrats would support Ro Khanna from California. I bet Sherrod Brown from Ohio or Debbie Dingell from Michigan. I bet, kind of hard hat Democrats would love to support something like that. And so to me, if there's a Republican administration, I hope there is. I mean, I think, and I don't speak for anybody else, but my proposal would be like one of the early things would be a reindustrialization agenda that would include as part of it a really fundamental revamp of our defense industrial base. And I think everything needs to be on the table, including like more direct government intervention, subsidies, tariffs, et cetera, because like obviously what we're doing now ain't working. I mean, I find it staggering the amount of money we spend and every single Navy program is behind schedule. The ICBM is behind schedule and overpriced, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, the attack submarines, big problem. Even the number one priority for the nation, the Columbia class replacement to the Ohio SSBN, behind schedule. So we've got to really, really revamp this, and I think it's kind of overdetermined why it's in Americans' interest.